welcome back, you guys, to another amazing night with yours truly, Sylvia Camille, as your host. And first, I hope that you had a wonderful week last week. And remember, you were supposed to connect with someone to manifest your dreams. I hope you did that because I did. I've been working on it. If we don't connect and build relationships with other people, no one will know what's in your heart, your burning desire in your heart to fulfill your dream. So this week's word of the week is perseverance. Yes. Why did I choose perseverance? Because I guess has been persevering through her journey, and you're going to be hearing all about it. But perseverance is the ability to persist or continue striving for something. Remember, we are all working on our dreams. So I am so happy and excited to have my friend Candice Newsum in the house tonight. Let me bring her into the room so we can hear all about her journey. Hello, Candice.
Hey.
Oh, I am so happy, as I've already said. And let me go ahead and put comments because I see we have some guests and I'm going to be reading the board. Anybody want to leave some comments for Candice or some questions? So Candice, I'm just going to jump right on in. I want you to introduce yourself to the guests. Tell them who you are. You are an actress. You are a Georgia peach. Come on, tell them some more.
Oh, hi. First of all, let me say, Sylvia, thank you so much for this opportunity to be on this show. I applaud you on what you're doing. You're helping people. And I just feel honored to be here first and foremost. I just want to thank you first for that. So I'm Candice. I go by Candice Alexis Newsum. I am an actress. Yes, I've been acting since I was a little girl. You know, I kind of started doing what Maya Angelou poems in middle school is kind of how it started. And then have been pursuing it ever since. I think perseverance, the word today, is something that definitely is in my life because I've been doing this for a long time, persevering and trying to, break in this industry for the most part. In my journey of trying to be an actor, I started my own business. I have something called Candy News Productions, which you can definitely look up. And that's where I work with all things children. So I do private classes with kids. I do summer camps. I do after school programs. And basically what I do is introduce the little ones to theater, to acting. We create reels. I go over scripts with them. Some of them don't even know how to read, and I'm teaching them how to do this. And it's something that I love. I felt a passion for because I was an educator. So I was an educator. I did teach high school for some time. And summers I got bored and started doing summer camps. And just fell in love with that. And the parents kind of surrounded around me. And then I decided to make it a business. And it's been growing ever since.
I love it. I heard you said the passion. You got bored. So you had to follow your true passion.
Exactly.
So how important is it for the arts to be in the school? What is your opinion on that?
Oh, it is so important. Every child is not going to be a doctor. Every child is not going to be a lawyer. And I think that for me, being in education I've been in education for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And I see that a child that may not like to read, but when they get into my class, they want to be the star. So they're going to read their part. You see what I'm saying? So there's a drive there for wanting to be a part of that. So that creates literacy, literally, because this child wants to be, not necessarily may not like reading, but they want to be that star in the play. They want to be the star. They got to have all the lines. They're reading. I've also had students, even on the star side, I love when I taught high school, I had to teach a technical theater class. Johnny may not do any work, in his academic classes, but guess what? Johnny was happy to do music and lighting for the show. Johnny thrived in that. He thrived in being like, okay, it's time to press play, and was on it every beat, So the technical aspect, I think people don't realize the technical aspects of theater and film where you can make really good money. Yes. It's something that's important. I mean, I look at the makeup industry now. these girls may not want to do their work, but if they do makeup for a play and they find that passion, there's some girls making some really good money now doing makeup, So it's a career path. It definitely is.
Good. I love. What age range is that again for your camp? Because if anyone is listening, what age range is that?
Okay, so I usually do from 3 years old all the way up to 18.
Oh, awesome.
All the way up to 18. I do private coaching. I do, summer camps. My summer camps are usually, I do like K through 2nd grade, and then I do another one 3rd through 5th. And then my after school classes can be like middle school age. We've done Hamilton. We've done Alice in Wonderland. We've done The Wizard of Oz. Haven't done The Wiz yet, but I want to. I've done Peter Pan, Lion King. I mean, we just kind of introduced that, and we do musicals. Like we sing, we dance, all of that. So it's a lot of fun. And I do right now, I actually have a class in Brookhaven. We're doing Frozen. We're doing Frozen with the little ones. And it's at Ashford Park Recreational Center. So that's going to be a lot of fun too.
Awesome. What kind of challenges, Candice? Because it's hard for people to step out on faith and what you have done with this camp, and it's been going. What challenges in the beginning did you face, and what did you have to tell yourself to keep on going? I can do it. I know this will work.
That's a great question. I think for me, I remember the first time I applied to do a summer camp. I started off in the city of Decatur, which is where I'm from. I actually was teaching in Texas at the time, but I would come home for 2 months, visiting my parents, and I was bored. So I was like, okay, I can't just sit at home and do nothing. That's not me. So I was like, I ended up working for someone doing a summer camp. And I remember I did 3 weeks of summer camp for this woman, and it was an internship. That's what she said. It was an internship. I only got paid $300, and I worked 8 hours. I worked 40 hours a week.
It was real passion.
You said what?
It was real passion.
It was real passion. I never knew it was something I wanted to do. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I was passionate about it. It was something to do, even though it was only $300. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. So from there, it was an internship. And I remember her saying, this is an internship. What questions do you have for me? And I made that woman my mentor. Like, she told me how to get summer camps, what to do. So yes, it was scary. When I first started in Decatur, I wasn't an independent contractor. I didn't know. I was just as tired as a teacher. Then I found out about independent. I was like, wait a minute, well, how do I become an independent contractor? I asked my mentor. Then I was told, oh, well, since you've been a teacher, you can't be an independent contractor. And I was like, wait a minute, that just doesn't sound right. So what I did was every time I was told no, I kind of went around it. I started asking more questions, and I think once you get, that's cliche, is once you get that no, it's like people kind of give up. But I was just like, I questioned it. Who else can I talk to? You said no, but who else can I talk to? And so it was scary, but what I ended up doing was just going and applying to be an independent contractor. And they were like, yeah, I applied and they accepted it. When somebody else told me no, I just went and applied and I did it. Yeah.
That's the word. That's perseverance right there. That's a story in itself right there. So anyone who's listening, when you hear no, you heard Candice, she went around, she found somebody else, and she persevered until she got her yes. And this is the reason why I like to do Sunday Night Live and have guests, because everybody's story and journey is different.
Right.
But you got to your goal because you persevered. I love that.
Yes.
I love that, Candice. I love it. Now I want to go back. I know you said you've been acting ever since you were little, but when did you start acting like professionally, and what was the turning point to get you to that level?
Oh my gosh, I still feel like I haven't got to that level yet. You
okay. You are there. You're gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
I mean, you're here. You're gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there. Oh yes, I'm gonna get there. I really, it's just, oh my gosh, it's been such a long journey. Now I did live in LA for some time.
Yes, tell us about that LA story life.
LA was crazy. I did the whole thing. I went to graduate school, so I went to the University of Florida Gators. I went to grad school, and after I graduated, I was like, Mom and Dad, I'm moving to LA. Boom. period. Well, actually, we had to have an internship. So what I did was I actually got an internship with Tracy Edmonds, Babyface's ex-wife. So she had her own company at the time. I think it was Our Stories Films at the time. They had only done one film, but I got an internship with her in LA. Which was crazy. What I did, I mean, at the internship, I mean, all I did was like read scripts and stuff like that people submitted for her to, you know, produce or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really even sure. I haven't followed it. I don't think it ever, after they did one film, I don't think, if I'm correct, I'm not sure where they are now. So I did the internship, moved to LA. I mean, I literally found some people on Craigslist. Some girl was moving out of a house, rented a room with 3 strangers, you know, and then got into LA and just, you know, was pursuing the dream, you know, not knowing anyone, you know, did a lot of like background work, ended up getting an agent, did a couple commercials, and things like that. So that kind of was my journey. I lived in LA for about 5 years. And now, meanwhile, I'm a Georgia peach, right? So
Right. Yes.
I'm from Decatur, where it's greater, all day, every day. Okay. So at the time, this was back, you know, the time it was crazy because I had moved to LA, but Atlanta had started really, really popping off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm in LA. And at the time, like the opportunities for African Americans I mean, this was back in, I would say, I moved there in 2008. So the opportunity that all these Black people have right now was not back then. You know, it was not a lot of black shows. I mean, you had like a couple, you know, on TV that everybody was trying to get on. But I would say that was 2008. Over the past like 15 years, Black actresses have so much opportunity.
Yes.
You know, it's just been amazing. And Atlanta has been a great hub for that. So as I was on my journey, you know, in LA, you know, I would come home and visit. And I was like, dang, you know, I might need to get back to the A, you know, I might need to but I, you know, I definitely did the LA struggle. I worked at a law firm. And it was crazy because I liked working at the law firm because you could work from 6 a.m. to 3. So at 3, I could go on auditions. Right? Or 5 o'clock. So I would do that, worked hard at that law firm, realized I did not like law at all. And so, you know, it was just, it's just such a journey. I think the biggest thing that people, that I wish I knew back then was the creating your own. I think that's such a big thing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and you know, because it was a struggle because you're always asking for someone else to give you opportunity, and I think creating my own would have propelled me more. I think.
Yeah, but you have the experience of I wish I had an LA story like that.
Oh, I have so many LA stories I could tell you about. Oh my gosh, LA was great, wonderful, and crazy all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good experience to have in your journey to share to someone.
Absolutely.
And I hope anyone who's listening, Candice, you told your I'm going to LA. I'm going to LA. And hey, I'm just gonna go do it.
I literally had a suitcase and 2 boxes. And I shipped my car. I paid to ship my car there.
And there are no regrets.
Oh no, there's no regrets. I have no regrets of living in LA. None. It taught me a lot. The thing is, I was young. I made a lot of friends, I would say. People I still know today that are still in the industry. I've seen like their journey. Like I know actors on TV now that I was acting with back in the day. They're famous. They're on shows and stuff now. And I'm like, oh, he's living in LA. Wow. I'm like, shoot, God, if he can make it, I can make it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You will. You will. I know you will. Well, now that you're back rooted in the ATL, how is your journey been going here? Because I know you're busy. You're busy.
Moving back to Atlanta was probably the best thing that has happened to me. You know, at the time I was starting my business, I was back and forth. And so how I started education was I left LA and I actually got an opportunity. I was so broke. Now that's one thing, I was so broke. But so I got an opportunity to teach and I got hired in Texas. So that's my journey. I taught in Texas and was coming back to Atlanta to teach summer camps. It had grown so big. I was always coming back every summer. So moving to Atlanta was great because I got to expand my business. You know, I was at 1 location and now I am at 6 locations. That's awesome. So, I told myself once I moved back that I was going to expand, and I did it immediately. So moving back to Atlanta has been great for my business. Just expanding my camps and my classes. I mean, they're so supportive. You know, I've had a really good support system around what I'm doing in Atlanta, and it's been great. You know, I've had opportunities. I've met so many people, you know, that are helpful, you know, here. Um, that are actors and, you know, and actresses. I just met a great pool of actors around me that I think have been mentors and are helpful, and, you know, just learning the industry. You know, I just started expanding my brand into teaching kids on set, you know, like shows, you know, like I'm working on a show with Disney now. They're doing a reboot of the Wonder Years, and I'm teaching the students that are on that set.
That's
So
awesome.
it's like it's just rolling over and over of just meeting people that are willing to help. And I think that's the Southern spirit, which I appreciate being back in the South, because in LA it's not like that. That Southern hospitality
It's about the
mixed with the industry is really it's refreshing.
That's amazing. What I want to take from your story and your journey is to let people know you've got to take a chance on yourself.
Hmm.
Because had you not gone to LA, you wouldn't have those contacts.
Right.
So, and stepping out on faith and having your camps has also allowed you other opportunities that, and that's the biggest thing on anything, anybody's journey, whatever you're doing in life. You've got to take a chance. You've got to take a risk. You you got to. Candice, tell the people you have to.
You do. You have to take a risk. I mean, I stepped away from education, you know, which was hard because it was a constant paycheck, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
know,
love the way you said it was a constant paycheck.
it's a constant paycheck. You know, and stepping out on faith and expanding my classes that have, you know, been able to sustain me. And then now I started with set teaching. You know, it is a step of faith. It's such a step of faith. And you just really have to, you know, it's scary. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I have my days where I'm like, Lord, did I, you know, but, you know, I keep taking one foot forward in front of the other and say, Lord, I know this is something that, you know, I'm a spiritual person, that this is something I feel like you really called me to do. So I have to trust him, you know, in that. But it's scary taking leaps. I'm a risk taker naturally.
I can tell.
But there's some risk you just be like, wait a minute now. But I am a risk taker. So yeah.
That's one of our learner profilers at my school. We are international baccalaureate certified, and risk taker is one of the learner profilers. And you have to do that in life, and we have to teach our children, don't be afraid to be a risk taker, because what you won't take a chance on doing, somebody else will, and then
Right.
they're living your dream only because you were afraid to.
Absolutely. And I felt it before, and that doesn't feel good at all.
Yes. No,
At
that's good. I want to talk about your agency. You're represented with Hayes Talent Agency.
Yes.
I want you to talk to our viewers, anyone who's listening, or knows someone who's in this industry. Why is it so important to have an agency? And then we can talk about the pros and cons. Because some people see it like, I don't need one. I can do all this by myself.
I mean, you're right. I mean, there's pros and cons to it. You know, I got with Hayes when I first moved to Atlanta, actually, and I'm even trying to remember my journey. I went on I think I sent them an email or sent them something, and then I think like the next day they were like, "Come in and audition." And I remember I brought like 3 different type of headshots with different color wigs on, and, you know, everything. I remember they gave me this scene that was so hard. I remember I was like, I remember going over it with a partner over and over again, trying to master this, you know, this scene, because I was just like, oh. And so fairly quickly, I mean, I got back and they were like, you know, you have definitely, we want you. So that's been cool. I think the biggest thing with the agent is staying in touch. You know, you can kind of get lost in the shuffle, you know, making yourself present. Go up there sometimes. Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm
Mhm.
here,
Mhm.
you know, this, that, and the other. I mean, just because you have an agent, that's not the be all end all. There's still work to be done. And I think the biggest thing you said in this interview that is extremely important, especially in this industry, and I think any industry really, is building relationships.
Yes.
How do you do that? And do it authentically. I think that's something that, there's some people that just have it, that gift of the gab.
They
But
do.
building that relationship with someone, with your agent without coming across like, but building relationships is so important. And so having a relationship with your agent, hey, I haven't been called in a while, just want to know what's going on. Is there anything I need to change? Checking in so that you're at the forefront of their mind when it's time to go on that audition and they're looking for somebody for that part.
You can teach a class.
Huh?
You can teach that class to your little ones.
I could. I do. I do refer them to agencies. I just give them a list of some that they can apply to. That's one of my private clients. I do that. Yes.
I love it. Candice, real quick, tell us the name of your website again.
Oh, okay. So you can go to just type in Candy News Productions, and that's Candy News with an S. So it's CANDINEWS Productions. Just put that in Google, and I'll pop right on up.
You pop right on up. Well, I want to talk about during this journey, everyone has to have a support piece. They got to have somebody who has been there for you the most, and what advice have they given you?
Oh my gosh. My parents.
I think it'd be a lot.
I am so blessed I have been blessed to have an amazing family. My parents have been supportive since day one. I mean, my father, my father was the one like, you can come back to Atlanta. They doing something down the street. I'm from Decatur. They doing something at the cathedral. The cathedral church was always doing something. My dad's like, get involved, do a play. My father took me. How I got into theater is my dad took the family on he's like, I got a surprise for y'all one night. And he had front row seats at the Civic Center, in Atlanta. So a play called The Journey of the African American. And that's when I fell in love with theater. We had front row seats for us. I sat and watched that play and I was like, that is what I want to do. Period. So, and when I told them that, they were like, we love it. Do it. Pursue it. Do it. Live it. So I definitely have had a great support system. My parents are amazing. They have been just so supportive. I got a shout out to Miss Bobby Jetson. She was my middle school theater teacher. And that's when I really started. That's when doing my Maya Angelou poems. And she helped me get into DeKalb School of the Arts, helped me with my audition, got me there. And even to this day, I'll have lunch with her sometimes. And she's like, baby, one of my other students, I know she taught Crystal Fox.
Oh, Crystal Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because she taught for APS, and she had Crystal Fox as one of her students, and she's like, "I'm just waiting on you, baby. I'm waiting on you.
She waiting on you, baby."
Yeah, she actually took me. She would take me. We would go see plays. Me and this teacher. She took me to see Crystal Fox in the Colored Museum at the Alliance when I was young.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. And from your daddy, and this is so important, and I'm happy that your passion is with the little ones to expose them to so much, because just him taking you to the Civic Center, that you were like, oh, you were in awe.
Yes, I was in awe. I just was like, Daddy, this is great. It was front row seats, and he was like, I have a surprise for y'all tonight. It was me and my mom it was just me and my mom at the time. I have a brother now, but he wasn't born yet. But it was just I got us front row seats to this play, and I was just like, and it was the journey of the African Americans. So it's all these Black people on stage.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Awesome. I love it. So I want to know, what is the best advice that you can give anyone who's listening on their journey, whatever journey they're on? It doesn't have to be singing and acting, what our passion and our heart and our dreams are about. But what would be the best advice you would want to leave someone?
It's so funny. I've been listening to your podcast, and you asked all these other people a question. So I was like, okay, what am I going to say? And I had to think about it. And I'm glad that I listened to your podcast, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to think about this. The best advice I can give anyone is create your own. Create your own. It has given me freedom. It has given me a voice. Don't be afraid to create your own.
Oh my Lord.
Don't be, if you're an accountant working for an accounting firm and you hate your job, or you just don't, start creating your own accounting firm. Start selling your services on your own. Start with creating your own. That is how we are going to grow economically as a culture. Creating our own businesses. I look at some people. Who we can't. Tyler Perry created his own. I think one of the things that he said was, "I'm not going to beg for a seat at the table. I'm going to create my own table." And when he said that, I was like, yes. That I think sometimes we're afraid to create our own. That clothing line. Buy some clothes off of Amazon and make your own website. I had a student. I was so proud of her. Now, she was in high school, and I remember she was like, "Oh, Miss Newsum, I have my own website." She was selling lip gloss, keychains, lashes. I said, "You're onto something, little girl. You're onto something." She's created her own website and selling. So I bought everything. And I was like, I want to see you continue to build your own business. Building your own. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think we're scared to do it. But just like you creating your own podcast, we don't know where this is going to go. You don't know how. And I think also the perseverance, going back to what you talked about.
Love it.
You're doing this now, but we don't know 5 years down the line what Sunday Night Live is going to be, because you're going to persevere through this. You're going to keep doing it. So I think, but it has to be something you're passionate about, right? Whatever you decide to open or create your own. But I think creating our own is just really important. And don't be scared, and don't get discouraged because the first 5-10 times you try, you don't get a client. Keep going. Somebody's going to bite back. Somebody's going to bite back.
How do you build that confidence? How have you built that confidence that you were telling all of us? I think you were born with it. But what do you think?
Ooh, I don't know if I was born with it. You know what I think? I've been told no so many times. And I think one thing my mother used to tell me was try. What's the worst thing they can do is say no. Then you're where you are. You're not. It's not gonna. Okay, so they said no. All right. Well, you're still where you are. You don't lose anything. But if you try and you gain something, baby, that's where it works. Baby, when you gain something, because she said always ask. Always. What's the worst thing they can say? No, you're going to be right back where you are. But what if they say yes, Candice? That can be a game changer in your life.
I'm going to have to interview you and Mama for Mother's Day. I love that. And Latangela Dorsey said 100. That is 100, because listen to you. But I see, and that's so important. What I was saying, it's so important for someone to have a support system, because whenever someone told you no, your mother was there to pick it up and say, you can do it, Candice. So that's why it's so important for us to, into our boys and girls that I see even at my school, and like the ones that your little campers, that you can do it, babies. Y'all can do it. Yes.
What is a no? What is a no? My mother has been amazing. I could cry. My mother's been amazing. She said, keep knocking on doors. One's going to open.
Yes.
One's going to open.
Yes.
Okay. Keep knocking. What she say? Knock down the odds is what she says. You're not going to knock down those odds. The odds are going to be in your favor. One door is going to have to open. So that's kind of my motto. So I guess being told no or trying things, like, even in my business, I'm still knocking on doors to get more locations. They told me no. Every year I try. Every 6 months I still try. Maybe that person got fired. Who knows? They got a new person. Ooh, I'm excited. You just keep knocking. You keep knocking. You just never know. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. If you could change anything in the industry, what would it be and why?
I remember this question too. What would I change? If I could change anything in the industry, what would I change? I hate red tape. Do you know what red tape is? I hate all the red tape.
The red tape.
And what I mean by red tape is that can mean paperwork. That can mean, okay, well, you have to have this agent. You got to have this manager. You got to have all those rules and, those little steps, I think that I would change. But I think the industry is changing. I do think it's changing from that. I think the internet has allowed people to put their stuff out there and people are watching. So I think that's what I would change. But there's, just the red tape of getting to that professional, level. I think that I would change. And I feel like, but I feel like a lot of the changes that I wanted to happen are happening. Like the color, seeing people of color, on film, even down to I'm loving the whole support of the natural girls. I'm like, yes, natural girls, y'all better rock. I'm not, but just all the stories that are being told. There's a lot that has changed that I would say back in the day I would probably have more, but I feel like the red tape is just the thing that I hate is the red tape.
Yeah. There is a lot, and that's a part of the journey. But
yes.
when you push past the red tape and you on you're in there.
And I think, what also I will say is also, okay, I have another one. I just thought about it. If I could change something, I guess it's something I just don't like. I hate the whole, like, the technology part. Like, I'm like, oh, you gotta upload your video to this particular site. You gotta save this at this time. Then it's got a slow fade. Like, all, with auditions and stuff like that. You just be like,
yes.
All that editing. So let me just send you a tape from my phone. You can see whether I can act or not. Shoot.
Now, Candice, I'm with you about that fade in, fade out, full body.
Yes, I'm like, listen, people are on Instagram becoming stars just do it like this. But you won't, I gotta cut here, I gotta slate, I guess that's the red tape, right? So those are the things I would love to change about the industry.
That is red. That is a part of the red tape. Oh, that is funny. So let's talk about, how do you prepare for some of these auditions? What's your process like?
Oh my gosh. Probably calling in my partner like, hey, you can read these lines with me. I think just doing it over and over again. That's my process. Because I'll be honest, like when I first read it, I'm like, okay, what was being said here? Right. I was professionally trained, so I did go to school. I went to Dillard University for theater and University of Florida. So, definitely I'm one of those. I kind of highlight my keywords. What do I want to emphasize? Trying it different ways. And I feel like these are cliche, but trying it different ways. I'm a back and forth person. So when I do the scene, I have to be walking back and forth. That's just my process. I don't know why, but that helps me memorize the lines better. And it also just gives me that if I'm moving, it just kind of helps me with the process. I think, but also diving down in that script. What is the writer trying to say here? That intellectual part. What is the writer trying to say? And then specifically, what is this character trying to say? Things like that.
Candice, I want you to speak on the training for anyone who's listening. How important is it, though? We know that training for this craft, people say you have to know your craft, got to know your craft. So what is your...
I definitely think training is important. Now, I went to college and racked up some student debt. But I don't think it has to be that anymore. There's so many, there's so many studios that are teaching theater. And even with my class that I teach to kids, teaching them that. I think I love to listen to podcasts, read books. And I forgot who said this, but you should always be a student. You should always be educating yourself. Now you don't have to pay, thousands and thousands of dollars for that, but I think you should always be educating yourself. And I think especially in this industry, one thing that I think I focus on, if I had to give somebody advice, I really focus a lot on the acting. And that's great. But in order to be an actor or an actress, especially professionally or getting to that level, there's also a business part you have to understand about this. Mm-hmm. And I think acting for business is a great class. I think that somebody had a class like that I wanted to take. There's so many classes. So it's not just the acting, which is what I kind of focused on, but there's so many nuances that you're going to have to learn. I think you should always be a student to the craft and not just the acting part, because I almost feel like that's the easiest part. And now I may be wrong for some people, but the business of acting is important. Learn who are all the casting directors here in Atlanta. Take a class on that. I had to take a self-tape class to learn what are the apps to use. How do I edit that fade in and fade out?
Right.
What is a full body shot? What is a slate? All of those things are things I didn't learn in my education. I didn't learn that. But I think what the beauty of today is that there's so much knowledge on the internet that is free. So I think educating yourself as wanting to be an actor, yes, you should harness your craft and take acting classes and feel the moment, but you better learn the business of this industry, or else you'll be a great actor and nobody will see you.
That's powerful. That's so true. Janet Jackson even said it, being a singer. Remember, she went back to school. She went back for business. I think she took a business class so she could understand what was going on. Because you have the talent and you don't know, anything can happen.
Right.
Offer you anything, you just take it.
And you just even a lesson on contracts. And I'm learning that being an independent contractor with my business. I'm learning, okay, well, what's the contract? What's your split? What's my split? Do I agree to that? How to negotiate? That's a great class. And as an actor, you're going to have to learn how to do that.
Love it. I love it. I'm over here taking notes.
Take the notes.
Take them. I'm taking those notes. So I have to ask you. I have to bring out my pillow.
Okay.
My dream big pillow. In your wildest imagination, what is your biggest dream? And it doesn't have to be with acting or the industry, but what is your biggest dream in life?
Oh my gosh! So my biggest dream, I think, I love. I don't know if you're familiar with Tasha Smith. You probably are.
I took her class. I took one of her class.
She taught in LA.
Yeah, that's the class I took.
Right. So when she was in LA doing TSAW, when I was back there in 2008, she hadn't really broke ground as an actor and director that she is now. I don't think. I mean, maybe she was, but now I feel like she's a lot more. She's really out there. I mean, my goal is for Candy News Productions to be all over Atlanta, Georgia. I want to be a household name. If your child wants to be a star, you need to take her to Candice, and she's going to make that happen for you. That's one of my dreams. And to also I want to be on TV too. I've always dreamed on being on a television show. I love shows. I really, I think, I don't know if this question is coming, but I'll
go ahead. It's okay.
But I remember from the interviews, the actress that I admire is Issa Rae. I love Awkward Black Girl, Insecure. I love that she took her narrative, her life, and she made it a story. Created her own show, created that. And so my dream is to create my journey and make it a show, make it a film, make it a, and I want my clients to see me on TV and be like, yeah, we need to pay her some money so we can get my child there too. And I'm so passionate about kids is because I wanted to do this since I was a little girl.
Yes.
And it wasn't something I, as an adult, and I want to take those kids. And my parents were, corporate American parents. They was like, listen, she into something. Thank you, God, But I want to invest in children that have this dream. And I think for me, I want to get them there now. You know what I'm saying? So they can build a really long life of theater and film and television. So household name, Candy News Productions is a household name in Atlanta. And hell, listen, now I'm dreaming real big. I might be all over Alabama, the southern region, because I like the South. I'm a Southern girl now. The southern region, okay? And then, of course, me being on television, creating my own work, or even opportunity, people giving me opportunities. But I want to be a face. I want to be an actress on film and television. That is big for me. And most likely just creating a story or a narrative like her. I just love Issa Rae. I think she's powerful. She's a great representation of Black excellence and Black girl magic.
What genre do you like to most? You like comedy?
I'm so big, like in general, like with my mannerisms, and that's why I love theater so much. I think comedy is more my thing. I think I definitely can do it all, but I feel like I'm in my rhythm when I'm doing comedy.
When you doing comedy?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, because I love doing Black Lives Matter before Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. I don't know if that's a comedic role.
It wasn't.
It wasn't comedic. Yeah, she's not very. Yeah, she's not funny. She ain't funny at all.
No, she's not funny at all.
Yeah,
it was drama. So that's why I like
that character. She's a lot of drama. But I think let's shout out to Trey Floyd. That's how we met.
Yeah.
I think Trey Floyd did such a great job of writing that character. I mean, he did a good job of writing all of our characters, right?
Yes.
But shout out to him I just think that it was, this is good writing, right? So the actress gets that script. And I felt like, I mean, when I first read it, I was like, yes, I could. It just, the words, the way it came out of, the way that it came out of my mouth. I think he wrote this character so well, and it just fit me.
It did.
It fit me. It fit me really well.
You did.
Yeah. So, and I'm not like that in real life, y'all. I'm an actor.
Y'all can see Candice September the 9th to the 11th. Let's tell the viewers when they can see you in Before Black Lives Matter.
Yes. So I am doing a play at 7 stages in September. Yes, it's called Before Black Lives Matter, written by the fabulous Trey Floyd. And yes, we'll be doing that at 7 stages, September 9th through the 11th. So please, if you think if you hear the title and you're like, yeah, you need to see it. It's a great show. It's a great show. And I love my character. So yes.
Yes, I love. Yeah, she brings it, guys. You need to go see it. She brings the heat. I love it. She brings it. And let's talk about your other projects with Trey Floyd Productions and tell viewers where they can see it. Army Sisters.
I have been working with Trey for a while. We also, he has his own TV network, which is Trey Floyd TV, where you can see me. I am on a show called Army Sisters, which I get to play an army wife, which is really fun, where you get to see more of I would say, my comedic side, I guess. And then I also am on a show called The Veil, where I play a villain again. So that's a great show. That's been great working with him, and working on his network. So it's Trey Floyd TV, and you can see me on those shows as well. So yeah, that's what I've worked on. I've been doing that, and then of course doing my classes.
Mm-hmm. Doing your class. Talk about Justice, because I saw that on your IMDb. What was Justice about?
Oh, okay. So Justice was a film I did where I got to play a cop. I shot somebody. This is when I was in LA. When I was in LA. So when I worked for, it was kind of an independent film. When I worked for Tracy Edmonds, at Our Stories Films back in 2008, one of her PA or production, one of the girls that was working under her wrote her own film called Justice, and I got to play a cop, which was really cool. I had a cop costume, and my hair was back. So yes.
All right, Candice, we will soon be winding down, guys. But I have a couple more questions because I'm digging. I love to dig deep and just hear everything. So you told me your biggest dream, but who would you like to collaborate with?
Ooh, Issa Rae. I love Issa Rae.
I knew she was kind of. Who else?
I love Kerry Washington. Love her. I love what she's doing now with producing. She's starting to produce too. She did what is it? Little Fires Everywhere. I don't know if you got to see it, but it's on Hulu and it's phenomenal. She's teaming up with I like Reese Witherspoon. They both teamed up together to do that film. They're doing stories written by women um, and produced by women. So I'm all about female power. Um, I like her. I love. Um, there's an actor that I really like. His name is Jeffrey Wright. I don't know if a lot of people don't really. I think he's not. He's a really great actor, but doesn't he doesn't necessarily. He's not like a big name, but I think he's just a phenomenal actor. And every time he takes on a role, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm trying to think of what film he played Basquiat. The artist, I think is the artist Basquiat. There's a film about that famous black artist, and he has dreads, and he ends up like I think overdosing. Like
And he plays the lead for that.
Yeah, he played a lead for that. That's like his big claim. It was actually it was a long time ago, but I think he did a phenomenal job. And that was like his big lead role. So I would love to collaborate with him.
We're putting all these out here in the atmosphere. Somebody's listening.
Somebody's listening. Listen. I mean, Tyler Perry. Listen, I am not ashamed. I love my. I mean, you know, me and you both, honey.
Yeah, we Tyler Perry girls.
You can't say nothing about bad about him around us, honey.
No. You can't. Tell me they gonna get.
Listen, Nuck if you buck. I'm from Decatur.
That's right. We TP girls all day long.
Hey, exactly. So I really, really love him. And I absolutely love, I don't know, I was about to forget about this. I absolutely love Ava DuVernay.
Yes.
Ava DuVernay is like, she's everything. I love her intellect. I love the stories that she's telling right now. Mm-hmm. I think they're really, really, really good. I love what she's doing. I also like Lena Waithe. I think I would love to do something and collaborate with Lena Waithe, Ava DuVernay, Issa Rae. Those are like my girls. Like that whole team. And shout out, hey, listen, let me shout out to my high school classmate, Donald Glover. Childish Gambino. I got pictures with him. We did plays together. Put me on Atlanta. I need to be on Atlanta. Like,
okay. Y'all hear Candice? Make sure y'all like, comment, and share this and share it to his page.
Yes, I will. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. You know, we was in high school together doing plays. Like, let's get it. Put a sister on.
That's right, kid. Put a sister on. I love it. Yes. All right. What is the biggest reward that you feel from all of this? What is your biggest reward?
The biggest reward that I have from all of this, and you mean as in like
when you walk away, when you walk off that stage, when you leave your campers, your children, what is the biggest reward? The feeling that you feel that you just like, it just.
I love, so with my camps and my classes, one thing I love, so when we do camps, one thing I love is we do a show in a week. So that means we do costumes, they have to learn their script. They cannot read from the script. They cannot, and the parents are invited to watch it at the end of the week. Their parents are there to watch it. And I think what makes me feel so good is all the parents are like, how did you do this in 1 week? How did you do this? And I remember, and I remember telling kids on the first day, we're doing a show on Friday at 3:00, so be ready. And they're like, I can't do that. And there it is. There's that cliche, I can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So we battle it out throughout the week. We work hard, and just to see them light up, to know that they did it, you know, in 1 week. We're doing a play in 1 week, full makeup, costumes, all of that in 1 week. So I think the joy that I feel, it's just knowing that I pushed some kids to do something that they thought they could not do.
I love it.
I love them on day one, Monday, being like, I can't do that. Kids who were shy, who never performed in front of anybody, and they do a full production at the end of the week. And I mean, my productions are big. All the parents come, all the people from other camps come. I mean, we got full houses, okay? And for them to do that, and they feel so good about themselves. They feel so good about themselves. And that starts the journey of wanting to act in that acting bug. So I'm giving them that opportunity. I think for me, as an actress, what I love is knowing that I told the story, you know. When I do act, hopefully people don't see me, you know, but knowing that I've told that story, you know, even in you know, in Trey's play, you know, when people get, I remember one time, you know, we had, what was the VIP, and I walked back there being my friendly self, like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. And this person just like backed away from me, like, I don't know, I don't like you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. That was a character. But just knowing that I did my job.
Right.
I told the story. You know what I'm
You
saying?
told, honey, you nailed it. You nailed it.
So that's where I think, for me, you know, that's the gratitude that I've executed this story. You know, I've taken this writer's writing and really executed what they needed to tell, because that's what all we're doing. All we're doing is telling stories, you know, but on large platforms. So yeah.
I love it. Oh, I don't want it to end. Let me see. I
love this.
I don't want it to end, guys. We still have we have more. We have more before we wrap up. I always ask this question because I want people to see that sometimes we do have a breaking point, but we know how to come back. Mm-hmm. So were there ever a time when you want to give up?
Oh, absolutely. 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 You know, like, dang, you know, maybe this isn't for me, or dang, I done got big, I need to just give it up. You know? I need to lose some weight. Which I'm very happy that, you know, all sizes are on TV now. Of course. I think, you know, this goes back, and I'm giving Tyler Perry so many shout outs, but I always listen to wisdom. I always feel like he has so much wisdom. And I listen to a lot of his videos on wisdom. I'm always on YouTube looking at him and Oprah. I like to work with Oprah too. I forgot about her. I would love to work with Oprah. That's a bad one. That's a bad one from back in the day, Black.
Yes.
Okay, she's been in the game for a minute.
A long time, and we all need to pay attention.
So I would love to collaborate with her, because I'm all on the spiritual journey. I love, like, Sunday, you know. But back to Tyler Perry, I would say he did a video one time, and I was looking at this video, and he said, if there's something that no matter what you do, you try to push it to the side, you try to shove it down, you try to get involved, but it keeps coming back to you. It just keeps coming back. It keeps coming back to me. It's something that, you know, of course, there's been times where I'm like, no, I'm gonna focus on this, I'm gonna focus on that. But there's these little nuggets that pull on me. Mm-hmm. And he said, if it keeps pulling on you and pulling on you, no matter what you do, then it's meant for you to do it, baby. You got to do it. You got to do it. And I think I remember hearing this. I think I was just listening to him, and I think it was like when I was teaching, and I was like, oh, y'all need to watch this inspirational video about Tyler Perry. I don't even think I had fully watched it, but you know how we're doing. That's horrible, right? I know as an administrator, you're like, that's horrible.
It's okay.
But look, it's coming from Tyler Perry. It ain't finna be nothing bad.
Right.
So I was showing it to my students, and I literally was like about to cry. I was like, oh my God, he's so right, because it keeps pulling on me. I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and it keeps pulling on you. There's something that keeps pulling you back to it. There's something that keeps pulling you back to it. It won't, he said, it won't stop.
It won't. It'll keep you up at night.
And he said, that's what you know, that's God's way of saying, hey, boo-boo, hey, we was on the path, you gotta get back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you about to make me tear up, because I too watch, sometimes I watch one of his inspirations every week.
Okay.
Every week.
Just keep me focused. He has such good ones. I mean, he's definitely, he's a actor, producer, writer, but he's also, honey, he's got God and spirituality all over that. Yes. All over him. Just listening to him speak, you know, to me, I'm always amazed. I could just listen to him speak, and I'm just always amazed by, you know, by the things that he says. Him, Oprah, you know, all of them. Yeah.
Woo, I love it. I love it. I love it. Wait, Candice, wait. Our time is running out.
Okay, listen, I'm still here.
Wait, because you've given some inspiration nuggets, but we got to hit one more time for the internet, because there's some people who are afraid of the internet. Tell everyone how important it is to not be afraid of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Just jump out there and do it. So how has that helped you in your career?
You know what? It's crazy. I think the internet is such a valuable tool that, you know, I feel like I'm coming from the old school, but we didn't have. say do it. Put your stuff on the internet. You don't ever know who is watching. You just don't know. I haven't done it as much as I would like to. I plan to. I applaud you for just doing this, every night, every Sunday, and creating this platform. There is space for you on the internet. There is space for you. I remember I did a video. I bought my house back in 2018, and I bought my house through a program called NACA, and I said, when NACA was like, basically like, how can you get our name out there? So I was like, I'm just gonna do a YouTube video about my journey with NACA and give some people some tips on how to navigate this, because people think it's so bad. Right. Child, I remember I didn't pay attention to it. I put it up, didn't pay attention. I think like 3 months later, it had like 15,000 views. And I was like, what? Like, people are out here wanting to know that information. You don't know what your life. I think the biggest thing is you don't know what advice or what journey you have in your life that can help somebody, and I think, that's smarter. Even if you're a writer, putting your content online, putting your content online. If you write a story, independent films are on YouTube all day. I'll sometimes sit back and I'll be in the bed watching little independent films, exactly. And I think I was listening to a casting director. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Bird or somebody. She found some actors, through some people who just put their stuff up on YouTube. Listen, Issa Rae, the girl that I love. See, I was watching her back because I used to live in LA when she was in LA, when she was filming in LA, Awkward Black Girl. She filmed that herself. It's called, she named it Awkward Black Girl, and put it up on YouTube, and look at where she is today. Look where she is today. And I used to watch her back when she wasn't. That's why I like her so much, because I used to watch it. I used to watch YouTube back in the day because I didn't have a cable in my house. I was broke. So I'm watching Awkward Black Girl, looking at her, and then I look up, I'm like, she done got to deal with HBO? And all she was doing was, she was consistent. Now it was low budget. It didn't look that great. The lighting was off. Not to negate that, but she didn't let that stop her. So
she didn't. That's right.
And I think a lot of the times people are like, well, I don't have the right camera. I don't have the right lighting. Well, I don't have the right makeup. I ain't got my hair done. Girl, you better put a wrap on and make it do what it do.
I love it. Candice, I love it. Put that wrap on and make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do.
Because they can fix you up once they get you. They can fix all this up.
And listen, Issa Rae is a perfect example. They can fix you when Hollywood wants you, and they know that somebody's following you. Oh, honey, you're going to lose. You'll drop 20 pounds. They're going to have the weave right, face right, makeup, hair beat. Don't worry about that. Get your following looking the way you look, And I think just that alone, I think, don't be scared, because I think a lot of people get stifled. I don't have this, or I don't have that, or I don't have this, or I don't have my camera. The picture's not perfect. I mean, we all do that in some case. But I think it's just a matter of just getting the content out there. And that's that perseverance, right? That perseverance that we want to go back to, of being persevering through not having it all. You're not going to have it all in the beginning. You're not. But if you never start and wait till you have it all, you're never going to start. When I started these summer camps, I think I had 8 students. 8. And I was like, not only, and I think when I first applied, they said no to me, but you know me, I just go around you. But it's persevering through. I only had 8 kids, 8 parents invested in my class. And now every summer I have over 100 and something kids. Perseverance. Where you start is not where you're going to end. It's not your last destination. But if you don't ever start, then we definitely know you're not going to get there.
So, those were your inspirational nuggets. That was your message to the people. Our final question, and I have enjoyed interviewing you so much, is how do you balance? How do you balance all this, Candice, with that beautiful smile?
Oh, thank you. How do I balance it? Listen.
What is your self-care like? What do you do?
Ooh. I'm a busybody person anyway. We talked about this, right? So I like being busy. I do like being busy. So I just, I definitely, I definitely take time out for myself. Like, for instance, I usually work Monday through Saturday because I do Saturday classes. Shout out to that too. In the city of Decatur, I will be doing Saturday classes every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 11:15. I do classes with kids, so let me put that out there too. Usually, I mean, it's a matter of, Sundays are my relaxation days. Like I just cooked. I just cooked a little something. I like cooking. Relaxing. Having a glass of wine. I definitely have a great group of friends, around me. That's one thing I love about moving back to Atlanta, that, that are around me that really, we have events. I do, social events with them. We meet up at a restaurant every week,
Right.
So my self-care is that. I also love, relaxing and listening to, like I said, podcasts like yours. I told you I was at the gym. I like to go to the gym. I get on the treadmill, and now my new treadmill listen is Sunday Night Live. Listening to all these stories about all these phenomenal people in Atlanta. You know, I think that's the thing. You have to carve it out. It's not, and it's sometimes it's inconsistent. Sometimes I work in the summer. It's very busy. I work every day, but then around this time it gets slow. So I definitely start to just really take care of myself then.
I love it. Well, it has been a pleasure and an honor to have you tonight on Sunday Night Live with Sylvia Camille. And I'm going to see you around. Don't go away, guys. Don't go away, Candice. Hold on for 1 second. Guys. Wait a minute. Woo! If you know anyone who is in doubt of themselves or whatever they're doing, whatever their journey is in life, I want you to like, comment, and share, and send them this link immediately so they can hear the journey and the story of how Candice has persevered, and she is still persevering. Look out for her on TV and film, okay? Our awesome guests. I will see you next Sunday, same time, same place, with Sylvia Camille. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Smooches, and have a blessed week. And don't forget to persevere.